Hey guys, we're going to be going back to scoring of Asura hard mode. A few people have said, "What do I do if I don't have Gabranth?" Well, here's going to be technically a way to do it without Gabranth at all, even not a friend Gabranth. Just fair warning, this is very, very tricky to pull off and requires exceptionally powerful terrors to make this work. But if you have a really powerful Terra and a good tag chainer, this can be a way to quickly kill the Scorn of Asura hard mode and get all missions, I believe. Credit for this strategy goes to Hokage from the JP server. He posted a way to do this. I'm just going to be replicating his clear, or a small adjustment to it. But overall, this is basically his idea. All credit to him. But let's go ahead and explain the way we're going to be doing this. So the whole team needs 30% or better to fire, ice, and lightning resist. We also need 50 or better to earth resist in whatever form you're going to be in on turn 1. Other than that, we want lots of sources of poison from counterattacks. So we're going to be using Assassin Dagger, Summer Whip, and then Black Belt. You can buy Black Belts from the Fat Chocobo and I think the City of Colts. So buy those if you don't have them. And then things like Proof of Talent that boost chance to counter are helpful. They are optional, but it does help a little bit. And we gave just a little bit of mana regen to Shadow. So there's his job. He's going to be doing double Mirage and LB fill every single turn. Secret Freedom Vaughn is going to be using the Clan Shuriken. He's got 100 disease or 100 chance to apply disease. If you don't have the Clan Shuriken, you can use other sources of disease, but the key thing is you can't attack the boss except on the turn you kill her, and I'll explain why during the fight. But so something like Summer Whip and all would work on him as well, but we need ways to apply disease without attacking the boss except on the kill turn. So we gave him Black Belt again and more sources of poison. He's got he needs dual cast. Make sure he has dual cast and Bar Stonera. This is a craftable green magic. You can just equip it on Vaughn and put him on Carbuncle with Bar Blazega, Bar Farega, and Bar Thundega learned. That's very important. Those are all the 70% buffs. Realm is going to be for Rod in Peril. She's also using a Thorned Mace for 100% disease, Black Belt for countering, and again, you can buy as many Black Belts as you want from the City of Colts. Other than that, we've got some auto-heal gear like Phoenix Energy, Regeneration. If you don't have auto-heal gear, you can give her elixirs to just top her off as needed. It's optional. The auto-heal gear is easier. And we gave her, again, increased chance to counter for the Black Belt. Lasso Reagan is going to be our tag chainer. Now, this unit is flexible. You can use him, or you can use like Rain and Fina. You can use Sol and Dark Fina. You can use Cleom and Axstar next week. Or you can even use Faizalit, the free tag chainer. They're a little bit weaker, so they're gonna contribute less damage. It'll be a lot harder to do it with them. Technically possible though, but use your best tag chainer. We're going to be using the Limit Burst of Laswell and Reagan's. We're geared for LB damage against humans and demons. So we've got 260 LB, 300 human, 175 demon, and human. Now he's only going to be in the base form during the fire and the ice turn. So he actually only needs fire and ice resist by 30%, and the rest are not important for him. It is going to be important for other units though. And then the shift form, he's going to be staying in most turns. He's just got the 30 fire, ice, lightning, and 50 earth resist. And we gave him 12 auto limit just to automatically regenerate his LB per turn, and Call of the Wild. Terra, again, poison weapons, Thorn Mace for the poison chance, Tifa's Glove to increase counter attack to give her counter. And then she has 30 fire, ice, and lightning by default. Shift form, we've got the classic Terra build. We are using Rod in Peril, so we gave her a Rod to take advantage of that. LB damage, etc. And she's got 30 Fire, Ice, and Lightning, and 50 Earth. And the friend we're taking is Robot DA. Some of you may know him from like the raid rankings, etc. He is an active player. He also has a really powerful EX3 Terra. We're going to take it. Now, she's not really geared for this specifically, but the cool thing about Terra, he did gear her for this. Oh, he's geared for this. He's helping out with the strategy. Awesome. Look at that. He's got the Thorn Mace and counterattacks. No, he doesn't. He did it wrong. Robot, no. You gave the counterattack and the Thorn Mace, but you didn't give her a source of counter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All we care about is the shift form. The shift form is what matters with the friend Terra. Now, the friend Terra, if they're a best in slot Terra, they're going to be using Duty to the World, which has 50 Earth Resist. They will be geared for this by default if you can find a best in slot Terra, and you kind of need it for the strategy. So here is his gear, and he's got 30 Fire, Ice, and Lightning, and 50 Earth from being just a well-geared Terra. So let's go ahead and get into the fight, and I'll explain it turn by turn. Hopefully, so you know what's going on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use Vaughn to dual cast a Bar Farega for 70% fire, and then a Bar Stonera for an Earth Resist buff. We're going to shift our Terras into the shift form. Alright, we're going to shift our Reagan to the shift form. We're going to just wait for the moment. Okay, now we're going to use Realm to both of her cooldowns. One of them is going to Rod Imperil the boss. The other one fills our LB gauge, which allows Reagan to do his Amplify. So Reagan is going to complete Awakening, Father Sun Bond for the Amplify, and Ignited Twin Blades Magnus for the Imbue. Now, we don't want to hit the boss. Never, ever hit the boss until you're ready to kill her. We're going to target our own team that is now immune to fire because of the buff, and we're going to go ahead and do his setup and take no damage. And now the Terras are going to do their setup, get ready for a turn 2 burst. Everyone knows how to use Terra by now, I hope. So we'll do this. And then Shadow will triple cast Concealing Shadow for the Mirage and filling LB gauge on the Reagan. Okay, so the way this works is the boss is going to do 2 AoE physicals. We're going to Mirage both of them. Then she's going to do an Earth attack. We're going to be immune to that from the Earth buff. And because we never hit the boss, she's not going to use her Dispel, and she's not going to use her Mana Drain attack. Okay, so we counterattacked and applied Disease. That doesn't really matter because we would have LB'd with Vaughn anyway. That's going to apply the 130% Fire Imperil and an 85% Break. And it also applies Disease 100% chance because of the Clan Shuriken. Okay, now Reagan got his LB filled from drops, from counters, so we're good there. If Reagan had not gotten his LB, we could have used like Double Sketch and Double Masterpiece to get his LB, but he got it, so we're good. So we're going to shift Reagan back to the base form, and we're going to tag attack, and now we're going to OTK the boss. It's okay to attack the boss on the turn you kill her. So the timing for this is a little tricky. We're going to be sending the Terras about a second or so before Reagan, and then we're going to send Reagan. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and then we're going to send Reagan, and we're going to go ahead and cap, and this should one-shot Phase 1. Perfect. Phase 1 is now dead. Okay. So we're going to use Realm. Realm's at 1200 magic, or 1200 health, so you can triple cast Masterpiece Sketch. That's just going to fill LB gauge for everyone. And it won't kill her because she's at 12k. So there we go. And then Shadow will triple Concealing Shadow. So again, the boss is going to phase change, do 2 physical attacks, and a fire attack. Because we buffed Fire Resist on turn 1, we're immune to Fire still. And there's no counterattacks or anything. So, okay, so we go ahead and get this done. And now we're imperiled to the next element coming in next turn. And because we counterattacked with the poison, the boss is now poisoned. We still cannot attack the boss, because that'll make her counterattack us, and that'll just ruin our plan. But by counterattacking, you can't counter a counter, so we can apply poison through counters without her attacking us back. At this point, Terra is now on cooldown. Reagan can't shift to his Brave form yet. The boss is going to do an Ice attack. Now, you might notice that the whole team is imperiled to Ice element, because that's coming in next turn. The way we're going to handle this is Realm is going to use Total Eraser. That's going to dispel everyone, ourselves and the enemy, and it also does not deal damage. So that removes the Imperil. Now Vaughn is going to do an Ice Resist buff with Bar Blazega. So because of the 30% ice we're wearing and the 70% buff, we are now immune. So we need to wait for Realm's Rod Imperil to come off cooldown. We need to wait for Terra's LB to come off cooldown. And we also need to wait for an opening when the boss's shield is down. So we're going to be killing her on turn 9. Turn 6 would technically be an opening turn. The shield is down on turn 6. But because Terra will not be ready by turn 6, we can't do that. So we're going to just guard Lastwell and these. Just guard all of them. And then Shadow can just... our LB is good to go, so we can just single cast Concealing Shadow for less mana, for double Mirage. So again, the boss is going to do 2 physical attacks. We didn't attack her, so she's not going to do any counter stuff. 2 physicals, and then an AoE Ice, we're immune. And we attack the boss, put up Poison. Poison's going to deal a little bit of damage. Good. Alright, next is next is going to be a lightning attack. So we're going to shift Last Will Reagan to the shift form, because that's where his resistance gear is. And we're basically, at this point, just repeating for the most part. So we're going to dispel our Imperils. Vaughn now needs to do Thunder Resist for turn 4, so we're going to bar Thundega. We can discard these. And Mirage. Yeah, we're waiting until turn 8 to do our setup. So this is turn 4. Same thing. The boss dispels her debuffs. We don't really care at this point. We counter. Poison is reapplied again. Perfect. Okay. And now we're going to, let's see, it's turn 5. We're going to dispel everything. Turn 5 is a fire turn, so we're going to bar Farega. Wait for the dispel to finish. I don't want this to mess up. And then Mirage, and keep going. So the boss is going to start healing every now and then, which is, you know, irritating. But it shouldn't be too much. And then take some damage from Poison. Perfect. So turn 6. This would be a turn that if Terra's, you know, shift was ready, we can shift here, but she's not powered up yet, so it wouldn't really do anything. So we have to wait one more cycle to kill on turn 9. So we're going to go ahead and dispel. Turn 6 is an ice turn. So we're going to ice resist with bar Blazega. And then just guard, and Concealing Shadow. And at this point, the boss is going to cure her poison, and now she's immune to poison for the rest of the fight, so we're not getting any more poison damage. Yeah, poison will not work anymore. She'll only be poisoned twice. Alright, turn 7 is a... let's go ahead and dispel our team. Turn 7 is a Thunder turn, so we will Thunder Resist. And we will guard, Mirage. Alright. Alright, and turn 8 is when things get a little bit more interesting. I think the boss is going to heal. The boss is going to heal at some point. There's the heal. Okay, so we got to deal 65% with the burst phase on turn 9, which should be fine. Alright, so here's the boss. You see the shield is fading next turn, so we're going to go ahead and get ready this turn. So we're going to shift our Terras and get them ready to burst. Before we do anything, we're going to do Realm is now going to double. We're going to, in this order, we're going to AoE Dispel, and we're going to Undead Sketch for a little bit of bonus damage on our Tag Chainer. So let's go ahead and AoE Dispel before we do anything. And then do an Undead Killer. Let's go ahead and shift our Terras. Our last gem is already shifted. Now we're going to use Vaughn. This is a fire damage turn. So we're going to Fire Resist, bar Farega on turn 8. Alright, Last Will Reagan is going to LB buff, Amplify, and Imbue. And again, we're going to target our own team with the target our own team. I'm making sure I do all this right, is why I'm doing it slowly. Alright, so we're going to get Terras ready for a burst again. So let's go ahead and get them ready for a burst. And we're going to triple cast Concealing Shadow this time so that we get some LB filled on Reagan. Okay. And the boss dispelled herself, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to... now we're going to kill. So we're going to use Vaughn to LB. That breaks the boss and imperils. We're going to use Realm on this turn to both her cooldowns. That's going to fill LB gauge for Reagan. Reagan's LB is already technically filled, but if it wasn't, that would fill it up. We're going to summon an Esper so we can say we did all missions. We're going to do that during the kill, though. So we're going to go ahead and shift our Reagan and tag attack. and we're going to finish off this boss. We'll go ahead and summon the Esper now. I actually don't want to mess up the timing and possibly mess up the chain. Alright, so now we're going to tag Chan Last for Reagan and with the Terras and cap it. And this should be an all mission clear. There it is, turn 9, all missions, no deaths. We summoned an Esper and we did fire damage. There it is. So, yeah, you need a really strong Terra. You probably don't need an EX3 Terra, friend. That might have been overkill. We did 777 million on the kill turn. The boss has 1 million health, and the boss was at 65%. So we only needed 650 million. We did 777 million. So we did overkill by about 100 million. So you don't need an EX3 Terra, but I would say EX2 Terra is probably important. But there is an all mission clear on Scorn of Asura without using Gabranth. And I'll put a turn chart. I'll post a picture of the turn chart so you know what's going on the comments. So okay, I will see you guys next time.